Have you ever wanted something so badly that you felt the universe just had to hear you? Well, for a girl named Maya, the universe wasn't just listening, it was taking notes. Messy, dramatic, sometimes explosive notes, and its interpretation of her wishes, let's just say it had creative liberties. This is the story of how one perfectly ordinary teenager discovered that every stray thought, every tiny wish, could turn her everyday life into a magical and occasionally catastrophic adventure. It all began on a painfully average Tuesday. Maya was slumped in her history class, staring out the window while her teacher rambled on about ancient trade routes in the driest tone imaginable. Honestly, you could feel the energy being sucked out of the room. Her mind drifted to pirates, treasure maps, maybe a dramatic cannon blast, anything to make things interesting. Just for a second, a tiny little thought popped into her head. I wish anything would happen. And then brang! The fire alarm exploded through the speakers. The whole class shot to their feet, chairs scraping against the floor. Maya jolted, her heart hammering against her ribs. Was this? No, couldn't be. That's just a crazy coincidence. Outside, the reason for the alarm revealed itself, and it was even weirder than she could have imagined. A flock of escaped parrots had overtaken the school roof, squawking like they were auditioning for a pirate movie. They strutted, they screeched, and they dropped. Well, let's just call it alternative treasure. Maya just stood there, blinking hard. Weird, very weird, but probably just a coincidence. Probably. The next day, Maya faced a math test she absolutely had not studied for. You know the feeling. The panic starts to set in, your brain goes completely blank. As she walked home with her best friend, Liam, she groaned, I wish I could just magically know the answers. The next morning, she was staring at her blank test sheet, panic swirling. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and tried to remember anything from class. When she opened her eyes, the answers weren't in her head. They were printed on her shirt. The random jumble of numbers and symbols on her new graphic tee perfectly matched the first 5 questions. For 5 solid seconds, Maya completely forgot how breathing worked. It was like her body just shut down in shock. She managed to scrape by with a barely passing grade. Liam just laughed and called it the luckiest shirt alive. But Maya's suspicion? It was growing a little stronger. Then came the annual school bake sale. Maya was assigned to the brownie table, but her brownies sat untouched, looking sadder by the minute. It was kind of embarrassing. She let out a big sigh and whispered to herself, I just wish people were lining up to buy these. A second later, a news van screeched to a stop right in front of her table. A reporter who was actually covering a totally unrelated story about a lost cat suddenly decided he needed a feel-good food segment for the evening news. He took one bite of her brownie and his eyes went wide. On live TV, he declared it a life-changing chocolate experience. Within minutes, a line snaked all the way around the gym. Her brownies sold out in under an hour. People were calling her a baking prodigy. Maya was not a prodigy. She was a girl who'd made a wish, and now she was officially freaked out. She had to tell someone. She spilled everything to Liam, the parrots, the shirt, the brownie chaos. Liam, being the ever-practical skeptic, just shrugged. Maya, it's a cosmic joke. A glitch in the universe. It's a coincidence buffet. Maya wasn't buying it. There were too many coincidences. To prove her theory, she decided to run a little test. A very specific, very harmless test. She whispered under her breath, I wish the next person who walks through that door is holding a pineapple. They waited. 10 long minutes passed. And then her mom walked in with a grocery bag. Sitting right on top, plain as day, was a giant spiky pineapple. It was on sale, her mom said casually. I thought we'd try grilling it. Liam's jaw practically disconnected from his skull. The cosmic joke was real. The coincidence buffet was officially serving pineapples. With Liam finally on board, they started to experiment, and they quickly learned that the universe had a very strange sense of humor and absolutely loved loopholes. When Maya wished for a bit more cash for the weekend, She didn't find a crisp $20 bill on the sidewalk. Instead, she spent an hour spotting loose change on the ground, a quarter here, a dime there, until she collected a grand total of $4.62, plus a really sore back from bending over so much. When she wished her annoying little brother would just be quiet for a while, he didn't magically stop talking. He got hiccups. Loud, nonstop, ridiculously distracting hiccups. For 3 hours straight. But the worst one, the one that really showed her how dangerous this could be, came when Maya was running late for a movie and got stuck in bumper-to-bumper traffic. Frustrated, she muttered to herself, "Ooh, I wish all these cars would just disappear." The cars stayed. The tires did not. In an instant, every single car around her sagged to the pavement in a chorus of metallic thuds and hissing air. Horns blared. People started shouting. And the entire street froze in a rubberless apocalypse. Maya felt the world tilt. She had done this. She had broken traffic. The lesson hit her like a falling parrot. Every single wish had consequences, and they were not always funny. After the tire disaster, Maya started treating her own mind like it was a minefield. No more stray thoughts. No throwaway wishes. No more casual, "Ooh, I wish," unless she wanted another citywide meltdown on her conscience. She started practicing mindfulness, really focusing on her thoughts. She chose her words carefully, both out loud and in her head. She used her power sparingly and very, very gently. She started wishing for small, good things. A lost dog in the neighborhood found its way home. A friend who was having a horrible day suddenly discovered a forgotten $10 bill in their jacket pocket. Someone's missing earring mysteriously turned up right where they least expected it. She wasn't moving mountains anymore. She wasn't risking any more tire-related tragedies. But she was making these quiet ripples in the world, little pockets of unexpected magic. For the first time since the parrot incident, the universe felt almost peaceful. Almost. Because that night, as she was drifting off to sleep, a single thought slipped out before she could catch it. "I just wish school lunch tomorrow wouldn't be so boring." Somewhere across town, a delivery truck full of live lobsters took a very, very wrong turn, heading straight for the school cafeteria. The universe, it seemed, was still listening, and it was always ready for a little bit of chaos. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed Maya's chaotic journey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories. See you next time.